好的，欢迎再次回来我们的节目。那么今天呢，非常的荣幸哦，邀请到的呢是我们洛杉矶县的第五区的我们的县长哦 Kathryn Barger 来到我们节目当中。Hi Kathryn, how are you?
I am great.
Yeah, I hope everything is great. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, 好，那我们最近要问一下我们的郡长哦，在 Duarte 的时候呢，为洛杉矶县的警长部门天普警局呢提供服务民众呢，举办了一场公共安全讨论的这个市民大会。那么相关的内容呢，我们要请郡长跟我们来分享哦。Hi, Supervisor, you recently hosted a town hall in Duarte on public safety for your constituents who are served by the Sheriff Department Temple Station. What can you share and what was discussed?
It was a great opportunity. Sheriff Luna came, and the two of us fielded questions from people that, quite frankly, don't feel safe. They don't feel safe in their community, and they want to know what role law enforcement has in making sure that their community is safe. And Sheriff Luna provided information regarding statistics about burglaries, robberies, and all that people want to know, but also advised on how you can protect yourself. For example, we know that in certain areas, especially around the Chinese markets, the individuals are targeting elderly Chinese.
Yeah.
And they will either grab their purse while they're going to their car, or they'll distract them in the market and then steal their wallet or their purse. So it was about giving the tools to understand how you can protect yourself. Lock your door when you get home. Automatically lock your door. Something that I do, and I hope people do. We don't live in a time where you can't. But also we educated about the fact that the sheriff's doing their job.
Yeah.
In 2 months of having a section set up for smash and grab, they arrested 196 people. But if they're not prosecuted, it's all for naught. And so the sheriff and the incredible men and women in that department are working hard. They're short-staffed. We talked about that and about the fact that we need to recruit more.
Yeah.
But we also talked about the fact that we need to prosecute so that people know that if they do the crime, they will be held responsible.
那么另外呢，我们要问一下我们的郡长哦，你这个在郡政府内工作很长一段时间，哇哦！ I hear you work for a county over 35 years. Is that true?
That is true. I started in 1989.
Do you enjoy?
Yeah, I love it. People wonder. They always ask me, "What are you going to do after this? After you're a supervisor?" Nothing. My heart is with the county and public service. I was fortunate enough to start as an intern, so I was in college when I started, and worked my way up and handled policy issues, both mental health, children's services, and welfare, and was fortunate enough to be elevated to chief of staff. And then with term limits, the supervisor was termed out, and I ran and was successful in 2016. So yeah, I've been a long time, and actually, it's helped because history does repeat itself. And when we had the slowdown in the 90s, I remember what we had to do. I remember what issues were really the trigger issues and what made it so difficult for the county and why we actually survived. And I share that with my colleagues. And I think it's important. I know it's important. And I know that they appreciate it because they'll bring up something. I'll say, we tried that and it didn't work. And then they'll pull it, and sure enough, we tried it and it didn't work. So I have the historical knowledge.
Wow. So what is the hardest part, you think, of your job?
The hardest part is the politics. I really do believe that as a supervisor, even as a city council member, it's not about the politics, it's about the people. And we live in a day and age when people forget that. Again, I don't, because I know what I would expect from my supervisor. And it's important for my team to react and respond to the needs of the constituents. But the politics are hard, and it's become so divisive as it relates to just people doing their job that it's really unfortunate. But, I always say if you do what's right, the politics work out.
哇，我们的郡长呢，在他还是实习生的时候，就已经有踏入这样子的一个行业，就是算从政的这个行业哦。然后呢，他说，其实他觉得他的工作里面，在35年的经历当中呢，就是跟人沟通，尤其是跟政治人物沟通，有时候是对他来讲是最困难的一个部分哦。So what is the best part of your job?
Best part is the people.
people.
I love people. I have
so
met.
hardest part is people, and best part is people.
Politics is the hardest part, but the people make up for the politics.
Okay.
You meet people from every walk of life, and I really do enjoy that part of it. You have to be a people person anyways. I mean, it's the same with your industry. You've got to enjoy interacting and listening and listening. And so that's been the best part, is the people I've met and the things I've learned.
So most of your job is like teamwork or just personal work, you think?
Both.
Both.
I mean, if I go to the market, I run into people that need something, and which is fine. I don't mind. So it's 24/7. But it's usually the ask, or usually issues that are quality of life issues, whether it be they couldn't get their permit, or they're unhappy about a park not being clean. I don't mind it. That's my job.
OK， 好的，那我们郡长，我也想请问一下啊，你希望在你任期里面呢，想要推动，然后解决哪一些议题来做出改变呢？ So what changes would you like to promote or improve during your term of office in the future?
I want to improve the way we deal with the homeless issue. Something that I have been pushing and championing right now. And that is bringing more seats to the table, letting the cities be a part of the solution. Right now, the county works with the city of LA, but our other 87 cities don't feel like they're a part of it. And whilst LA City has the most homeless, if a city like Arcadia has 200, that's 200 that are impacting their quality of life in their city that they want to help. So this next 4 years is going to be about really being a voice and making sure that we reward those that are doing what needs to be done, and providing them with the resources that they need to address homelessness throughout the county, but more importantly for me, in my district, with the 20 cities.
好的，我们郡长说呢，他现在最想要推动、最想要解决的事情，也就是街友的问题。有很多人无家可归，要怎么样去致力于去改善这样的一个情况，是他现在最想要做的一件事情。好的，那我们稍作休息一下，等一下请郡长跟我们再多聊一聊呢，他执政期间的一些政策。马上回来。来，请郡长呢简单的为我们介绍一下，第5选区有哪些城市哦 ？So would you like to tell us what cities are included in 5th District?
So my district starts in the San Bernardino County line, Laverne, San Dimas, Glendora. It comes over to Arcadia. And then San Marino. Temple City. Pasadena. Burbank. Glendale, La Cañada, and then it comes up the 5 freeway all the way up to the Grapevine, so Santa Clarita, and then the 14 freeway toward the Antelope Valley. So you've got Palmdale, Lancaster, and then a new part.
It's a big area.
Yeah, and then a new part of my district, which is very exciting, and I've really gotten to know the people there, and I'm excited to represent it, is Universal, so Universal Studios, Universal City, as well as Hollywood, around the Hollywood Bowl up to the Hollywood sign. And that's a whole new district for me, and the people are incredible. Yeah, so it's very diverse. What's needed in Arcadia is not going to be what's needed in Santa Clarita. But it's important for them both to have a voice in what they need to support their needs.
哇，我们的郡长管的区域真的很多。刚才念到这些城市呢，全部都他的管辖区域，而且还有一个新的管辖区域，就是在环球影城。哇，现在也是归他管哦。所以呢，他也觉得非常的开心，然后呢，也觉得说有很多的将要面临的一些事情、一些挑战，他也觉得会很积极正面的去影响这些管理的事情哦。好，那么我们要问郡长告诉我们说，为什么选民应该要踊跃投票？到底如果我们不投票给我们理想的候选人，会发生什么样的事情呢？ So, Supervisor Barger, so could you tell us, would you like to encourage people to vote? Do you think voting is important?
So a lot of people don't know, because in earlier elections, the elections were in June. California moved it up to March. The elections are March 5th. And what I tell people is that is your voice, that is your power.
Yeah.
It's important for you to exercise your right to vote. And with the election coming up, there are many important seats. Obviously, I think mine is, but I know that the district attorney is on there, a new state senator to go back to Washington, D.C. to replace Dianne Feinstein's on there. it's important for you to exercise your right to vote. It is a really the one thing I can say when people complain about government, if they don't vote, then I don't want to hear about it.
郡长也特别提醒了，常常我们都很爱抱怨政府，可是你为什么不去投票呢？你就是应该要去投票，把自己呢这个神圣的一票呢投给对的候选人，然后呢你就正确的、最好的一个方法、最直接的一个方法发出你的声音，为什么不去做呢？所以大家一定要记得投票哦。So, what will happen if we don't vote for our ideal candidate?
Well, I mean, I think it's important to do your research too.
Okay.
I stand by my record. For me, I am someone who looks to compromise and deliver for my constituents. And I am proud and I hold my head high on the job I've done for the last 8 years. But I'm working hard to be reelected because I don't want to take for granted that while I am the supervisor now, that people automatically. So I'm earning my third term, something that I'm not angry about. I think it's important. I think it's important for us all to really explain why we deserve a term, whether it be supervisor, Congress, senator, you name it.
好，那我们郡长呢也要提醒我们哦，一定要去了解你想要的、知道的候选人。他当然你自己也觉得说，哎，他自己也真的是非常努力的在做郡里面的事情哦。所以反正你就是要投给你觉得可以帮助我们社区的这个候选人就对了，选到你自己觉得完美的、理想的候选人哦。OK, last question 啊，What are the primary service offered by supervisor's office? And what can people to provide their feedback to the supervisor?
When I was an intern, my job was to answer the calls from constituents that were angry. The county oversees animal care and control, so I would get calls from people whose dog was picked up and they were mad that they had to go and pick it up at the pound and pay the fee. We handle registrar recorder, so I would get calls from people who didn't get their ballots. Parks and Rec, I would get calls from people who went to a park and there was litter and they felt that their taxpayer dollars were not going to good use. We handle hospitals, access to health care. I talked to a woman who was diagnosed with a lump on her breast and couldn't get in for an appointment. And with breast cancer, time is of the essence. So our office helped facilitate that. Our office is there to make sure that our constituents feel that government is working for them, not them working for government. I'm old school. I believe that is our job. And it's coordinating with our departments, making sure that they are doing their job. In addition to that, it's also policy issues. There are issues that this board takes on, and I brought up small businesses. A policy we brought up was to invest our federal dollars that we got during COVID into small businesses. That is a policy decision that this board made. So we do policy, but we also ensure that constituent services are first and foremost.
So how can people provide their opinion to government?
I have a website, kathrynbarger.lacounty.gov. You can go there. There is a form that you can fill out. You click on it, and you can send us an email. You can send me an email at kathryn@bos.lacounty.gov. Again, kathryn@bos.lacounty.gov. You can email me, and we will make sure that the issues that you bring to our attention are addressed.
哇，太棒了！我们今天的郡长呢说，如果我们民众呢想要表达意见呢，甚至可以直接 email 给我们这个 Barger 来表达你的意见。那当然，他也致力于呢帮助很多我们大大小小的问题。他刚才说，从这个申请医疗补助啦，然后任何的这个社区的这个小问题、大问题呢，全部都可以反映只要是我们这个居民、市民想要反映的事情呢，都可以跟我们的郡长来直接来做联系。今天也非常谢谢我们的郡长来到我们节目当中，跟我们分享那么多，非常受益。Thank you very much, Barger.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thanks.
谢谢。
谢谢。然后下次见喽，拜拜。
拜。